Sanjay Jha, you're a reasonable man. You have also oftentimes taken this position that, you can't use terrorist means to justify a political cause. The Congress party also, after first saying that, we stand with the victims of terrorism, after the CWC, they issued a statement which seemed to sort of, balance out both sides. This whole political correctness, can there be political correctness, Sanjay Jha, about killing babies, about raping mothers, about taking grandmothers as hostage? Let's not be politically correct about it. This is terror, this is uncivilized, this is barbaric, and it needs to be called out. Why are our politicians, particularly politicians in the opposition, so coy about it?
Zaka, this is a very serious subject, so I will just like to kind of make my point succinctly, and hopefully we can have a very meaningful conversation. Point number one, I think everybody has condemned the attack on civilians by Hamas. I don't think that is even a point of dispute. There are two things which are very important, though. Let us know our history correctly. Hamas is a creation of Israel. Israel has funded Hamas. Israel has ensured for its own dubious political motives that it wanted Hamas to actually succeed in Gaza because it knew that Hamas was more Islamist, and they did not want Fatah or the part of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the Palestinian Authority, to actually become the true voice of the Palestinian people. You know the truth, Zaka, that today, and I have friends in the media, even overseas, people say that if elections were held today in the West Bank, especially after all the violence over the last couple of weeks, the Hamas will probably sweep West Bank as well. Because the truth is this, that Israel followed a policy of divide and rule. And basically you created a monster that is now hit back at you.
No, one second, Sanjay, again, I keep coming back to this. Are you saying that Hamas, and you said it, that Hamas, if it were to contest elections in the West Bank, it will win? Then go ahead, contest elections. No, why are you butchering babies? Why are you killing women, children, elderly? Go ahead, contest elections. Show the world that you are the voice of the people there. But you're not.
Zaka,
you are going around attacking innocent civilians, people who are at an outdoor party, paragliding into that. You've built this whole network of tunnels. They had an opportunity. They were politically elected, right? They were politically elected in 2007. What have they done for improving the lot of the people in Gaza in the last 15, 16 years?
Yeah. Zaka, let me answer you very quickly, because what Sashi said, and I'm probably going to meet him after this program is over. Here are 2 points that you need to understand. You mentioned that after 2007, there have been no elections in Gaza. You're absolutely right. Find out when was the last elections held in the West Bank as well. And let me tell you, what Hamas did on October 7 has to be strongly condemned in probably the harshest terms. It's an act of massacre and terrorism. How would you define Israel keeping Gaza under siege, putting settlers in the West Bank, which by the way is an act of coercion and gradual occupation? And how do you explain the fact that today, as we talk, I'll give you the numbers. The number of Palestinians killed is over 7,000. 2,900 of them are children. 1,700 women. If that is not genocide, if that is not war crime, what is?
Okay, I concede. I don't think the point of this debate or the point of all the flack that the IUML is getting or Shashi Tharoor is getting. I agree with you on one count, that nation states that are governed by the rule of law, that operate on principles of natural justice, cannot be using or have to be mindful of the kind of civilian casualties or civilian damage that they are causing. And they have to be held to a higher standard than organizations like Hamas, no doubt about it. And if that means that you are denying basic food, water, electricity to 2 million people, yes, that is unacceptable. A nation state is to be judged by a far higher standard. But Sanju Verma, please respond to the point that Sanjay Jha is making, that yes, what Hamas is doing is terrorism, absolutely no two ways about it, no ifs and buts. But how can a state, a democracy, flout international rules, flout the rule of law, flout rules of war, conventions, the Vienna Convention, the Geneva Convention, and cause civilian casualties to the extent that we're seeing 7,000 of them, 2,900 of them babies, apparently. And most importantly, how can you do this siege where 2 million people have no food, water, and electricity? What would you call that?
Zaka, like you say that you don't like tutu meme on your debates. I was absolutely quiet and I want that courtesy extended to me because as Sanjay Jha said, there is the need to have a meaningful conversation. And I will answer all your queries and also specifically give a rebuttal to what Mr. Jha said. I agree with the fact that Hamas is a terror outfit and they need to be called out for the bloodthirsty terror outfit that they are. Hamas was established in 1987 and it clearly says that it subscribes to the ideology of Muslim Brotherhood. Point number one. For somebody to sit here and on the one hand say that yes, I condemn Hamas, but in the same breath qualify his statement, and I'm talking of Mr. Jha, he qualifies his statement by saying, but you know what? While Hamas is a terror outfit, while what they did on the 7th of October is not acceptable, let us be very clear that Hamas is actually a creation of the Israeli state, which I think is a whole lot of gibberish. And I will tell you why. And, somebody needs to just, while you have explained history very well, before the program, please, Mr. Jha, you can keep having that smirk on your face and shaking your finger, but it's my turn. Anyone who knows the history, okay, I don't need to learn my history from you. Anyone who's read about the Israel-Palestine, Hamas, axis of conflict, including the Egyptian history, knows that while Israel was set up in 1948, it became an independent state in 1948. The fact of the matter is that between 1948 and 1967, Gaza was under Egyptian occupation. Point number one. Between 1967 and 2006, Gaza was with Israelis for about 38 to 39 odd years. From 2006-7 till 2023, as we speak now, for the last 16 to 17 odd years, Gaza has been with the Hamas. And as you said, Zaka, let people question the Hamas and ask them, hypothetically assuming that Hamas came to power in Gaza after winning elections. What have they done for the people of Gaza? Absolutely zilch. And I was reading something before coming on your show that Hamas has an annual expenditure of $375 million on defense. Hamas sits on cash worth $565 million, and Hamas has real estate investments to the tune of $531 million. But do you know what? Despite having millions of dollars in investments in cash, what have you, Hamas has not been able to provide even basic amenities like food, water, and shelter to the Gazans. Point number one. Point number two, and very quickly, because you gave the Congress, suspended leader a long intervention. For people who say that Hamas is the creation of Israel, I want to turn around and ask this question. Are you then going to say that since the Congress and Mrs. Gandhi in 1978 supported, can I please finish?
Please finish. Please finish.
Thank you. Yeah. Everyone knows this, that in 1978, when the SGPC elections were conducted in Punjab, Bhindrawale put up candidates. And all the candidates put up by Bhindrawale in 1978 in the SGPC elections were supported by Indira Gandhi. So are you then saying that when Indira Gandhi was assassinated in 1984, we should rationalize that, normalize that, justify that by saying that yes, ye to hona hi tha because Bhindrawale was the Frankenstein monster who was Indira Gandhi's creation.
Right to rebuttal, Sanjay, very quickly, because Sushant and Mr. Vashni have been waiting very patiently. So very quick rebuttal, please.
Zaka, Benjamin Netanyahu is on record to tell his own party in 2019 that we will fund Hamas. We have to support Hamas to ensure that the Palestinians don't get... Can I stop interrupting me here?
Ma'am, please, due courtesies, please.